Have you ever wondered how they build these massive 4x4 brush trucks? Well, today we're at Skeeter Emergency Vehicles at their plant, and we're going to find out. This is Heroes Next Door.
So welcome to the Skeeter warehouse. This is literally where all the parts get ordered and everything comes in and everything gets distributed to the different factories.
Yeah, and this is one of the places that we struggle with after the pandemic is how do you keep that logistical parts moving and flowing to make sure that you can build the trucks at the time frame that we can as best as possible.
People who love coming to work every day.
Yeah.
That's the only way that this works.
Yeah, and they're very talented in what they do getting us parts. Come on in.
All
Welcome.
Right. I like the nice cool inside.
Yes.
We value our air conditioning down here.
So basically everything here that you see follows a digital workflow.
Okay.
And then goes into, this is where it converts to physical workflow because basically all the parts have to get ordered.
Right.
And the parts get ordered, everything gets procured, and they get shipped in here. They assign them to different trucks. They distribute them basically to the different factories that, you're going to be going to.
Right.
So in this team environment, we have Anthony. He's our procurement manager.
Okay.
Are you in the meeting, sir? So, and this is Johnny. He's our warehouse manager, and he's also our special components manager. So he also he manages the graphics work center that you saw that you're going to see later. Yep. So everything and anything components. This what this team's about. Hello, this is Stacia and Viviana.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
They're part of the procurement team.
Oh, I did the wrong one.
Yeah, we did the wrong way. I'm gonna nice to meet you, and then we'll go back here. We'll go nice to meet you.
All right, so these ladies are actually going through the specs and they go through every single truck and go through all their components and order all the things that need to be ordered to actually get the trucks built.
So essentially this whole place, you've cut out the middleman, you've become your own middleman.
We're our own distributor.
It kind of, we think of a traffic, and when you get a traffic jam, you get it kind of backed up like inchworm.
Right.
You've created your own by creating your own warehouse to buffer some of that inchworm supply chain issues.
These folks, without these folks, we can't build anything.
Yeah.
They literally supply the rest of the factories with everything that we need. So everything here is its own sub-component. And everything literally has to be defined and identified and priced. So there's so many people that make that happen. That's what I'm saying. The majority of it is digital workflow. Right. But then when you go to the warehouse, you'll see that it converts to physical workflow. Because once the parts show up, now you got to do something with it.
Right. And we're talking a little bit of screws and
everything in everything from tiny to big to a whole chassis. Everything has to get procured.
To just the raw stock material itself.
Right.
Absolutely, raw stock. You're going to see, everything and anything that you see has to be procured.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Right.
And then I know we haven't gotten to that part yet, but when we get over to the factory, you see some of the graphics. We talked about it earlier, how that's designed in-house. Miss Amanda does.
This is our artist.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So she's literally designing all the graphics and she's doing everything the whatever department chief or whoever, whatever their desired wants or needs, it's her job to make that a reality on a sticker.
Okay, so my Heroes Next Door logo or whatever, I would send to you, and you would help me kind of tweak that to fit on whatever unit I'm going to order.
Or even better, if you didn't have one, you just reach out and then Amanda would literally meet with you and say, hey, well, what do you want it to look like?
Okay.
There's lots of volunteer departments that we might build a truck for that doesn't even have a design.
Right.
Maybe they just haven't ever bought a brand new truck before. So this is their chance to not just get something cookie cutter. They can literally sit down with the same person that designed stuff for a major metropolitan fire department and get the design that they want, but then they can continue through everything else.
Right. So,
and she has to deal with me all the time asking for help because I don't know how to convert some file from one thing to another.
All right, and this is Johnny. He's our warehouse manager. He was in his office, and basically half of the team is his, the other half is Anthony's.
Okay.
And so it just depending on what their actual work tasks are.
Well, thank you for all your service. We really appreciate what you guys do and how you keep the things flowing. One of the things that we're trying to do on our channel is highlight everybody involved in these kind of things, whether it's a firehouse or anything like that. You guys, I feel, are part of the fire service or the public service, and I want to make sure you guys get your due recognition too, and that's why we're here. So thank you very much.
There's a great story about John F. Kennedy when he went to NASA after announcing we were going to put a man on the moon. was walking down the hallway at NASA, and a man was mopping the floors. He stopped and shook his hand. He said, "What do you do here?" He said, "I'm putting a man on the moon."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's every
that's what
single
I'm doing.
person from one step all the way to the top. That, you know, if Jesse calls in sick, I'm not going to say we couldn't do it without him,
Right.
but he's not here and you notice it, and that
Right.
goes all the way down through the whole rank and file.
Okay. Holy cow.
So this
Alright,
is
so
that.
Now you start getting into the components.
Yeah.
Right.
So the first thing that hit me was like, this is the Amazon of your
Absolutely.
Of a fire
department.
truck.
You know, I'm going to say, hey, I need these parts, and this is where it's going to come from. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
And then also working on the forecasting of it, not just knowing, oh, there's a job coming. Is this going to be something that's going to be hard to get? Is there something coming up in the supply chain that we need to foresee and forecast for? Is this something that we should just go ahead and stock because it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get?
Right.
It's a magic magician trick that they do every single day. And then on top of it, counting it to make sure that they have accurate inventory. Because with an inventory, you have
You
to
don't
pay
wanna run
inventory
out.
tax.
Yeah.
You don't want to run out. You have to pay tax on it. Where's all of those limits? And these guys do just an absolutely amazing job with it.
Right. Right.
And then they also do things that they manufacture and build in-house. We talked about this. You know, this is the largest, right?
There's the largest crimper up here in North
crimper
Texas.
Okay.
in Texas, because these guys said, hey, the lead time to get a hose made is kind of creating a pressure point.
Sure.
Jesse goes, buy the machine. Now we don't have that problem anymore. So it's a constant look, and then adding it into the floor plan of the facility and stocking all of the crimp fittings to make sure that we have it, to make sure
The
that
idea is
not
to
a
be
dollar
able to
delay.
support the product no matter what.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you can't get it already pre-made, or you're having difficulty getting it pre-made, you're like, we'll just build it ourselves. So you got the hose, you got what, and then you can make it whatever specs you need.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Whatever custom
Brilliant.
length.
Absolutely
And
brilliant.
if a customer reaches out and says, hey, I busted this hose and they're telling me it's 6 months to get another one. Well, contact Johnny and, okay, let's get you a hose, because
Get them
ultimately,
back in service.
let's get you back in service. I mean, we're not just building a truck once. We're building a truck to make sure it's doing its job every day.
Very cool.
Now, not everything here is off the shelf. Some things are custom made.
Sure.
So we were talking about how we're always growing and always changing. You'll notice this is actually where the warehouse used to be.
Okay.
So everything right here, not counting the offices we just walked through, that's another addition. So this was an addition, that's an addition, and that's just in one facility. It's just very easy to see how much we've added on here in the warehouse.
Right.
It's a little harder to see in like the admin office where, you know, oh, that used to be the break room and now it's offices. So, you know, we kind of changed it up.
So some of the
keep that
questions
in front of you.
specifically for you is, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of having its own warehouse in a system like this?
As far as
Production and flow, and because you're ordering and then it's going right out, but you're kind of stocking things here. Can you explain to me, you know, how that all kind of works a little bit better from your perspective?
So the big advantage is we are able to forecast, as Israel mentioned. So we know what's upcoming. We're able to plan those min-maxes and base it off of our inventory levels currently. So we can kind of forecast where our own customer, primarily, we're our own number one customer to support our production facility. And kind of the way it works is as those parts come in, we're about 90 to 120 days ahead of the production schedule.
Nice.
Having those materials come in, and then about 30 to 45 days in advance, we'll start staging those in these cages that you see over here, or in totes. So we're an additional 30 days ahead on physically picking and staging the components.
Okay.
So-
Explain to me a little bit more about the totes then. How does that all work?
Yeah, we can go look. Yeah, so this essentially, between that cage and that tote, is a truck in a box.
Okay.
So anything that's on the BOM that's been forecasted, our planning team does a great job of building that out on paper in the digital world beforehand. So when it gets to us, everything's mapped out and we know which assembly stage or production stage it's going to be in. We're able to stage those parts accordingly, get them picked, and get them in that cage. So
Okay.
that will travel with the truck through production. As parts are needed, they'll be picking those out and applying them to the
And one thing
Good way to
is,
do that.
you guys only count this once a year, right?
full, yeah,
Right.
a full annual audit every year, but we do cycle counts every day. So,
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
just
we're
what
just
really
constantly-
like keeps us going. If one of these packages at the end of the year gets found to be in the wrong spot, you're going to find it and it's going to get put back where it is. Don't worry, I'll put it back. on. It's like-
yeah,
Don't
we
mess with the inventory, Israel.
Messing with it.
Do
Well,
not
that's-
mess with the
That's
inventory.
what drives the min-max and
Absolutely.
the forecasting. If your inventory is not accurate, none of those reports or anything matter.
Right. Right.
And it really cuts down on when these get over there. I mean, you just don't see a lot of people calling over from the factory that says, hey, I'm missing something.
No.
Because of how it gets put in this,
Yeah,
it doesn't delay and
Yeah,
slow
and
down that
it's-
production.
it's an ever evolving thing, but yeah, it's came a long way and it's really clean going over there and coming back. So the materials are there when they need them. There's no waste in production time waiting on materials or stagnant technicians.
So there's 2 more buildings or another building from here, right?
There's one more large facility that's kind of 2 things in once.
Okay.
So we've got the factory floor, and then we've got the fabrication shop, and then well, we've got a few trucks parked out there you might want to look at too.
Okay.
Now we're at the last location. This is the main complex.
Okay.
And this is basically where assembly and fabrication takes place. And this is where they marry the bodies to the chassis.
Okay. And this is one of your newer buildings.
No, this is our original building.
Oh, the original.
This is
Okay.
where we started.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Walking straight into a working environment.
Okay.
As soon as you come in the front doors in this building, everything is assembly and fabrication and manufacturing. So this is Alex, and this is the graphics department.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I just got a couple of real quick questions, if you don't mind. Many times the graphics that we go on a lot of our fire trucks have to be sent out to different places. The fact that Skeeter has designed and brought you the tables and the cutting and all that kind of stuff, how did you learn how to do all that stuff? Like,
A lot, just YouTube, and then just kind of figuring it out as I go, because I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I was just doing installs.
Okay.
And install, I just kind of picked it up all
Yep.
of a sudden. And then with all of this, we were outgrowing it, and we were going too fast, and the department where we were getting our graphics from kind of wasn't keeping up with us.
okay.
And I asked for a small printer, and then we got like
We got a whole department.
Well, we don't make small trucks. You have to have the big
You guys
printer.
make big trucks.
I asked for a small one, and then we ended up getting a really large one, so I kind of had to learn it very quickly. So as I
On the
learned-
job training.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
Hey,
I
make
learned
it
that
look easy.
one, I was learning the design part, and it's still just learning as I go. A lot of it's just learning. But as far as all this goes, it kind of just came naturally, surprisingly.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So do you normally just do kind of like the graphics on the side, or do you guys also do wraps?
So we only do wraps whenever the department asks for it. As far as doing wraps on the side, that's just my own preference. I do it by myself.
Okay.
Nobody asks or anything like that. I just kind of wrap my own stuff if I need it. But for here, it's whatever the department wants. If they want to wrap, then I'll do it. If they don't, then we'll just stick stickers.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah.
I love the fact that it's in-house. Like you said, the one trend that I'm getting as we're doing our Station Cribs tour is it's all about efficiency. And if it makes it more efficient to bring it in-house, like the crimper or the graphics, Skeeter says, let's do that then.
We invest in the infrastructure to keep the production flow going.
Yeah.
So that's literally the basis of it all. If anything becomes a bottleneck and we have to solve it, then we solve it with machines, people, training, facility, you name it. Whatever it is the topic is, we have to solve it.
Right. And she's a perfect example.
No, she's a great example of employee growth within our company. So Alex has done several jobs in this company, and she's literally taken over the graphics department and really has mastered a lot of these job tasks. She's now a team of 3,
Yeah.
right? So she is basically our graphics lead. She's the one that's actually kind of managing all the ins and outs. You met our artist that was working on some stuff.
Yep.
You'll meet our installer as well. So there's different components of this. We quickly outgrew a printer.
Yeah.
She absolutely is correct. We said, okay, we need the ability to build a sticker or 2, and then it just grew to a whole graphics department. And for the most part, we're in control. So as we speed up the production line, we can speed up the graphic production and getting them approved quickly, getting them printed quickly, and then getting them put on the truck.
Okay. One of the things that we've been talking about with a lot of people are the employees that work for Skeeter. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
How do you enjoy it here?
I love it. Like, this was only supposed to be temporary, and it turned into being just
How many years ago was it temporary? 6 years ago.
6 years, yeah. But I've just enjoyed it. I really love what I do. I've come a long way here at Skeeter. This place just takes care of everybody. Jesse takes care of all of his employees really well. We have really good management. As far as the environment, everybody is just so comfortable and relaxed. Like, we're here every day, so it's like we're home all the time. So for me, it's just my second home. I love it. It's really great. I have absolutely no complaints.
Awesome.
Anytime anybody comes in, I'm always just like, It's the best place to work. Like, I don't even want to brag, but it is really because it's just such a good environment, such great people, really good management.
Really reminds
And
me.
we're hiring.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be my next question for you, Jesse. Was we are short on EMS and fire across the board.
Correct.
How are you guys doing as far as filling jobs and stuff like that?
We always have opportunities. I mean, we're growing, constantly growing, so we're always looking to fill opportunities. Our website, on Facebook, on social media, there's different ads that go out, but it never ends. We're always looking to hire technicians, fabricators. We'll go into professional staff searches. Those kind of things are always kind of ongoing. I've been here since 2016, and I can tell you we've never stopped hiring since I got here.
Okay.
The company just continues to grow.
Okay.
We're a growing company.
If I were interested, how do I go about going to here? Do I just got to stop by, pick up an application? Is there an online form
Online
or a
is
web?
Indeed. You look for us on Indeed. You can look up Skeeter, Hillsboro, Texas, and you'll see the opportunities. We also have Skeeter in Wisconsin, in New London, Wisconsin. That's our northern plant, which you guys need to go visit eventually.
Sure.
But basically, just look on there, Indeed, any of the hiring sites, and you can go to our website. You go to our website at the very bottom, it says careers, opportunities. You click it, and then they're usually listed there, and you just follow the prompts and apply.
All right. So for you viewers, what I'm going to do is put a link down below. And if you're interested, if you're in the area or even thinking about moving to Texas, because it's beautiful here, or Wisconsin.
You got to give them some love.
We'll see how the weather's up there, but Wisconsin, we'll put a link below and go ahead and hit that. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Alex.
All right, so down this hall, or in this conference room, you'll see this was our original conference room where everything got built. So
Okay.
you'll have our firehouse style table
Yep.
with Skeeter on it.
Yeah, if
So
you've been to a firehouse, that probably looks pretty familiar.
Absolutely. This is where all the problems get solved on the firehouse.
this is how we started to grow out of this conference room.
Okay.
Everything would get pre-constructed, built, delivered. This was the only conference room. Now we have 4. But
Okay.
either way, I mean, it is what it is. But this is still the manufactured conference room. Yeah, we have
we
5.
have 5.
We have
Oh,
5.
wait.
Yeah. So this is the engineering corridor, I like to call it, because this wall's full of engineers. These guys are literally building, designing trucks. Rusty's working. He's one of our product engineers. Rusty, can we see which is on your computer? Sure. Oh, sure.
Make sure it's not the top
Okay.
secret one they
Yeah.
have to blur, right?
Yeah. So
Rusty, nice to meet you. Thanks for inviting us in.
all right. So basically, this is just one of our engineers, not the only engineer,
Okay.
but he is definitely working on product development and just components that go on a truck. And basically, product engineers here are the truck engineers. They're designing everything on the truck that was spec'd out.
Okay.
And as you can see, I mean, they have the full model of the truck, and they're putting all the components that go on there, making sure all the product fitment is there. They also do a whole lot more than that. They make sure weights are right, make sure that the pump's going to perform, that the compartments are what they want. So there's a ton that goes into actually designing the truck. So the truck's actually built before it's built, but digitally.
Okay. Okay. And it
Okay.
looks like you're doing some rock sliders on the one side
That
there.
would be
maybe?
a receiver and bumper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Extremely high-tech Legos.
So I'm going to ask you a real quick question, kind of put you on the spot. If somebody wanted to do what you're doing, what kind of schooling do they need in order to become an engineer to do this? Do they need a college education? Do you do apprenticeships?
Yes. The first thing would be to, well, I'll give you what I did. I went about it the roundabout way. I went and did welding school first, was a welder for 4 or 5 years, and then I decided to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. So that would be what you need to do here is be mechanical engineering.
Okay.
To do engineering. So.
Yeah, very cool. So thank you very much for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And I've seen some of the good work out there. So keep it up.
Wade is out of his office, but he is also an engineer. This is Mark. He's our engineering manager.
Hello, Mark.
And he coordinates all the engineering activity amongst all the folks in engineering here and in Wisconsin. We have another engineer over there.
Okay.
So there's everything kind of is going through some sort of workflow coordination, and Mr. Mark is the one that does it.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing your job. We really appreciate it.
It's a blast.
So one of the things that we're talking about on the channel today, as we do our Station Cribs tour, is the people behind the scenes, and that's what you guys are. So tell me a little bit about how your experience here at Skeeter.
So really, it's just grabbing all the specs, descriptions of what people want, and just turning it into real life stuff. So a lot of times they have ideas, concepts that they draft up on a piece of paper, and they want to have it built. Well, so that's kind of really what we do here. We'll grab the spec, read it through, make sure everything jives, make sure everything fits, send back our updates. Hey, this stuff needs to be changed. This needs to be modified. Shave an inch here, shave an inch there, whatever it may be, and that's kind of what we put together. Work with our fab shop on building stuff that's actually, I guess, going to come through the shop easily.
Okay.
And holes line up, make sure everything's fine tuned and ready to go.
Okay.
The main goal here is just make sure everything bolts up nice and neat at the end of the day.
Very nice. So that's your job. How do you feel about Skeeter? Your experience with Skeeter itself as an employer?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
It's exciting.
Here, we can close the door here for a minute.
No, it's exciting. It really, there's so many different projects that go on here that it just keeps you on your toes, and you come in really that day, you're just like, man, what's gonna happen today? All right, cool. What project am I working on right now? All right. They're so different. You're never doing the same thing over and over and over, which I think kind of keeps all of us young in a way, because we're like, what's going on today? What's going on today? So
Nice.
it's fun. It's exciting. All the people here are the exact same way. I think like everyone's just ready for that next challenge.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking your time out of your day. I'll let you get back to work.
All righty. Thank you guys.
Basically, Ruben is probably the most tenured employee here. He's my director of manufacturing. He came with the company when we acquired the company. Basically, this is Mr. Wade. He is another engineer, and he does a lot of the components and troubleshooting and R&D and those kind of things and new product development. He also has a patent here that he designed. And
Two total.
yeah,
Very cool. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your service.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is an
Enjoy it.
excellent tour that we're getting today. Very in depth, and
I'm
I
glad.
think the viewers are going to
Does
be.
you love to talk?
no, I don't. Very good.
He's proud of his company.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's-
should be.
All these folks are, like I said, they're the people that make this thing happen. We couldn't be who we are without them. It takes the collective group, all of them,
Right.
and they all do specialty jobs
Yeah.
of some sort.
And everybody's always willing to jump in to help each other. Like,
Yeah.
I know if I called Wade and said, hey, can you help me hang some pictures today? He'd be like, I've got just the laser micrometer to do it with.
I'll give you the shirt off my back.
There you go.
Hey, literally, there you go. We did that when we started. I remember that.
Yeah, we did.
So as we come out here, this is kind of the starting point of the other side of the truck, right? So we
Okay.
have the chassis, which is where the truck starts. This is the starting part for the body or the
Okay.
back half of the truck. You'll still see those job numbers, right?
Yep.
Listed on these trucks. So these are staged, ready.
Okay.
But before they get to this point, this is where they start.
Okay.
We have
Raw metal.
stock
Yeah.
component. Obviously, we didn't build this one. It's
Yeah.
just here.
We did build this
Well,
one. We're
yeah, not
actually
in that bag.
not in there, but this is getting some work done to it. So every once in a while, we do have some warranty work that can't be done off-site.
Okay.
So we'll pull it in and do the warranty work
So-
inside, and that's what we're doing with this
Gotcha.
one.
Literally start with a stack of raw aluminum material, and then that'll start taking shape inside the fab shop, which we'll go into.
Okay.
And then back here is where those trucks, same thing with the warehouses. We stage those parts ahead of time.
Yep.
We stage those chassis ahead of time
Okay.
to make sure that we have them when they're ready to go. So we have
The fact that you guys are staging those now, because I know even when I ordered an ambulance, like, oh, we're going to have to go ahead and get that chassis to start building your ambulance. And it takes a while just getting from Ford or Chevy or
And there's
whoever
only
it
certain
is.
months of the year that they'll even let you order,
Right.
and then you have to wait for that order to
Right.
be approved or not.
You guys are taking that step even further and just saying, hey, let's keep it on our lot. Let's get it ready to go.
Well,
for the next customer.
this is the next 6 months worth of production. We try to stay 3 to 6 months ahead. So anything that's going to supply the shop for the next 6 months, we have here and we have at another dealership. Another dealership has about this many vehicles sitting in their lot that are ours.
Okay.
So everything you see in that lot is not something looking for a customer.
It's already-
it already has a customer.
Nice.
These
Okay.
would be the next things up to actually be brought in and start to be built.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
So normally we go through the side door, but we're going to loop around this way because they're working on that other truck.
All right.
More of that raw stock componentry. So as it starts coming together, it's going to come in. And this is really where the production fabrication side starts. So we start with cutting the material down to size.
Yep. Big
and
old
then
bandsaw, welding
Absolutely.
tables.
Bringing it in here. And then this is where it takes shape and life.
Okay.
Starting with our bumpers brought in, and then Is this one going to have the bars or not? Is this one going to have a winch or not? Components added to it. Starting here and moving over, you'll start to see the bed and body of the truck start to take more shape.
Right.
So it comes in off of a basic frame, starts having some of its structural elements added, and then you're going to start seeing all of the side components being added to it, from a tray at the back, the doors, side railings, headache racks, all of it starting.
Right.
Back this way, it's a little tight, but if we come in through here,
All right. How you doing on heat? All right.
It's on, but so far it's
make sure you watch your ankles, little sharp edges there. How's it going, guys? So also with being a custom shop, every single item, it's not just spec'd as to what it needs to do, but where it's going to be.
Okay.
So everything from the manifolds on the back of the truck have to be pre-designed, designed up there with Rusty. Does this fit? Is that handle going to be an issue or not? Should it push backwards or pull forward?
Okay.
However they design it up with the customer,
Yep.
then we get to specifically create it in-house to make sure that it mates up with what type of pump are we using, what types of discharge do we want, stocking those components, and then having these guys put it together with.
So the manifolds are
Incredible
literally being designed and built custom. So as you can see, this is a manifold in its raw stage.
Yep.
You'll see some finished ones, but they're all stainless steel and they're all TIG welded.
Nice.
So David is doing here, he does the work on it, builds it all out to match every individual truck.
Right. Right.
But
Ben's actually the fabrication shop manager right here.
Okay. It looks like he's busy. We won't
They're-
bother
yeah,
him too
they're
much.
working on
Yeah.
that particular truck right now. They're doing a bumper design for it. So that's a component of fabrication management and engineering.
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And again, by having everybody in one spot, there's Mark comes right out to say, hey, engineering, let's meet with fabrication right now with it in front of us to make sure.
Right. Takes care of that problem right then.
Exactly.
So you have four
More
workstations
components.
working, building four bodies
Okay.
with fabricators doing different job tasks. So basically, it goes into three stages. You got the frame, you got the skins, and you got the tube work.
Okay.
So that's what makes a full, complete body.
Right. Right. It's definitely efficient the way you have it set up here, and you got all the tools here to do the stuff. Everything from the laser cutting table to the stampers and the benders and the cutters. Everything's right here.
And then you have the kits. So then a couple of employees are working doing all the cutting.
Yeah.
They do the trimming, the cutting, all the deburring, getting it ready, making it a kit, putting it on the cart, and it moves over there. And then there's another fabricator putting it all together.
Right.
So a bunch of Lego pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like those blue cages that you saw at the warehouse. All the elements go together.
Yep.
All the elements get assembled. And then once it's done, stage just outside, waiting to go to the next step.
All right. And then we'll go over there.
Like the larger components like the tanks.
Okay.
The tank, the body, and then lastly, it goes into the first stage of our line. There's 3 harvest lines for developing our core product line, pushing forward. These trucks move forward basically every day. They come in, components added, slides up to the next station, more components added, continuing work. And then when it gets to the last station, closest to the other door,
Yep.
is when that marriage takes place. We take the finished chassis, finished body, the overhead dolly crane that you see,
Okay.
lowers and marries those two together,
Nice.
goes back over to quality where they say, great, let's test everything, make sure it's built exactly the way it's supposed to be.
And every bay's working very
Every bay is
efficiently.
working. The last one that we have over to the far side, we call it our incremental line.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to bring in something that maybe it's not something we build over and over and over again. Might take a little bit more time.
Okay.
That one can sit over there and it's not holding up production of the rest of the facility.
So maybe 1 or 2 specialty trucks that you've had to
Absolutely.
do. Kind of
Here's those cages. So that cage comes over and now they're going to take those components in the warehouse and start installing them onto the body in preparation for it moving forward. As
This
you
is
can
where
see,
you see your traditional workflow
Right.
as it starts as just a raw body,
Yep.
and then it starts to get populated with all its components. And then if you have a time-lapse camera, you see it moving within the week as it's progressing forward, as they're putting on components, and it moves forward.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now we start to assemble the pump with that in-house made manifold with all the customer specifications. Graphics may have already started putting graphics. We start having our painted bodies, overheads, lights, wiring. But as you'll notice, we have no wheels.
No, yeah.
So we're basically building the fire truck at the same time in 2 places
Okay.
until it gets put together.
Right. That makes sense.
Makes sense?
Over here, Every single tool in the factory gets accounted for, just like every single part in the factory, like
Okay.
every single nut and bolt in the factory. So at the end of the day, every part gets returned. Although some people might look at this and say, oh, it takes a lot of time to have to clean up every day. It doesn't, because everybody knows where it is. And if somebody calls in sick tomorrow, I don't have to go find their tool. I know where it's supposed to be. And this is also part of that ongoing Kaizen event.
Okay.
Every year, every single tool, every single item goes out to the parking lot.
Wow.
And they're going to redesign this pegboard because they might have found out that that wrench doesn't work there. It needs to go somewhere else. We
Okay.
get that feedback from those guys, change it accordingly to what they want, and give them another year of continued progress as they figure out what works even better.
Yeah, I love the fact that the company itself has that employee input on the function and reality of their job.
At the end of the day, they're the ones that actually work and live it every day. So you designing a work center for them, it doesn't really work.
Right.
It's basically finding and listening and then trying to accommodate in which way we can. And then standardizing the work center. So if they work in one work center and they move next week to another, it's very similar to where they work.
Right.
So then all of that standardization helps. Moving everything forward at a certain pace is standardization. That's why we call these harvests. Harvest lines have already been designed.
Yep.
We already kind of know these are very similar trucks to what they've built before.
Okay.
And then we just keep moving forward. Anything that's an oddity goes to the incremental line, and that'll take longer.
Right.
But basically, if we keep everything within our spec, within our, we have a fast quoting system. If you pick the option from the fast quoting system, then everything will flow through here relatively smooth. No delays, and you get your truck a lot sooner.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay.
Now you'll notice here we've got 2 empty bays.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that production stopped. When we were over at the chassis shop, you saw some of those chassis were just about finished.
Yep.
That yellow one that you pointed out was 868-1. That's going to be the silver body that's just back here.
Okay.
So it's 2 back. Eventually, once that's finished, they'll pull it in. That'll come up to meet it, overhead crane. And like this one here that they did yesterday, they've now assembled the 2 halves.
So if you would have seen this chassis yesterday, this chassis was in the chassis shop.
Okay.
And it came here today. The body was ready for it. They've married it in a day or so. They're doing all the connections. It'll go to the pump station and they'll start pump testing it. Normally by the time it gets to this stage, you're about a day or 2 away from a working fire truck.
Okay.
And then once it's finished here, if we don't have a spot for it over at the other facility, it'll get staged just outside.
Okay.
So as you can see, we've got all these more or less finished units.
Yeah.
They're in some process of either quality or pump testing. So now we just bring our truck right around the corner here.
Oh, and you have your own pump testing on site.
Absolutely. Do it right here so that way when the customer comes to pick up their truck, they can step right over here to pump test the truck.
Okay.
Or if we want to test everything ahead of time, like this one,
Right.
we're checking it before Jefferson County even comes. So we want to make sure that all 4 of their trucks are ready to go to minimize any delays from that pickup procedure.
Yeah, that's good. You don't have to have that third-party pump tester come out to the firehouse or whatever. Once you get the truck, it's already done.
Yeah.
So
So
what
sorry
we-
for the noise, but we
Yeah.
got the pump running right now. You'll notice we've got a large exterior tank. That's just to minimize waste of water. So we're
Circulating
recirculating
water.
it.
Yep.
And you got to give it an hour or so to
Yep.
run. You're putting hours on the actual pump, and then just circulating the water. James will put a pitot, start measuring the PSI,
Yep.
GPMs, all that kind of good stuff, and then basically you get your numbers to verify that the pump does what the pump's supposed to do.
Very cool.
Once all that's done, then it's done its functional pump test.
So all we're doing is testing everything at once. We have the graph feature, pulling the water out,
Yep.
putting it into the tank, running it through the manifold with the pump output, pressurized hose, bringing it back up, stimulating that fire nozzle, then checking all of our pressures to make sure that everything matches exactly how this Type 5 Wildland engine is designed to operate, to make sure that when the customer comes in, it's ready to go.
Very good.
You want to spray
Awesome.
some water?
Yeah.
We will. Don't worry. We're
all
gonna
right.
get
We'll
to.
take a truck and go spray.
Sure. We
Absolutely.
covered everything. There's no other outbuilding that we missed, right?
Nope, we got them all.
All right. So we'll get the camera view here. I just want to take a minute and say thank you once again for taking us around. This was very enlightening. A lot of information. Once again, this was Heroes Next Door. We did a station cribs at the Skeeter Emergency Vehicles down here in Texas. Thank you all for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification, smash those like buttons, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, so then you're gonna
Wow.
drive it. You never driven one of these, and you should drive it as you're just driving a half-ton pickup.
Right.
That's how dialed in they are.